Welcome to Simple Oracle DB. In this video we will be creating constraints on an Oracle table. We're going to be talking about three different types of constraints: the not null, the primary key, and the check. The not null, what this does, it prevents data from being entered as a null value in your column, and you could set this constraint on multiple columns within your table. The next constraint we're going to talk about is the primary key. This does two things. It prevents data from entering in as a null in your column. As well, it prevents the duplication of data on a column or a combination of multiple columns, depending on how you want to set up your primary key. Next, we're going to talk about the check constraint. This, you can set a condition on your column, like it could equal a certain string, or it could be greater than a certain number, or it could be greater than a date. This gives like a range of data that you can restrict or allow in your column. Next, we'll be going over to Oracle SQL Developer. Here I have my create table statement, and I'm going to be creating a table called CHAR table. I'm going to have an ID and name. ID is going to be where I'm going to set my primary key, and then I have some string fields here and some date fields. And a couple of these constraints I'm going to mark is the not null is the CHAR new flag. I'm going to set the not null, as well as the create date. I'm going to set that to not null, and the created by to not null. And in this first constraint statement here is I'm setting up my primary key. CHAR table PK is going to be the name of my primary key, and I'm going to set that for CHAR ID, which is my first column. The second constraint example here is I'm going to do the check example. I'm naming this check CHAR flag, and my condition is CHAR new flag, which is this column. I want it to equal N, or I want it to equal Y. And I set this here because I don't want it to be null as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create this table. And there we go, we got the table created. And I'm just going to show you some quick inserts here. I'm going to insert this row of data. My ID is 1, CHAR name is Dodge, and then my CHAR new flag is Y with the date, and the user ID is Fred. So that row went in. Now I'm going to do it again. Okay, so now I got my unique constraint primary key, so it calls the name out, was violated because I tried to enter CHAR ID of 1 again. If I enter it as 2, then we should be good here because it is unique. So now I got rows CHAR ID of 1 and 2 in there. Next, we're going to test our check constraint. I'm going to change this to an X. I'm going to change this to 3 so we don't violate our primary key. And if we look back here, I'm only going to accept N and Y, as well as a not null here. We're going to go ahead and run this. Okay, as you can see here, it failed the check constraint violation here with the name and check constraint. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a one that it does accept and run it again. And there it inserted. So we can go over here and review the rows that we entered in. As you can see, we have the 3 IDs that I entered in here, all unique, and my not nulls is my CHAR new flag, my creation date, and created by. In this example, say you have a table that's already created, but you want to add a primary key afterwards. As you can see, I have the CHAR ID not on this table, but I have a CHAR name and a CHAR type. I'm going to use these 2 columns as my primary key. The combination of the 2 will be my unique value for the row. So I'm going to go ahead and create the table, which I have my CHAR table created. And then next I'm going to create the constraint. And there we go. I added my constraint after I created the table for these 2 columns. This concludes our video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below the video. I will post my code in the description below the video so you can copy and paste it. Remember to stay hungry and keep learning.